Chosen one, stop scrolling for a moment, because what you're about to hear is not random. If this message reached you today, it means God has just activated something inside you that was asleep for years. A gift, a calling, a power you didn't even know you carried. And once this gift unlocks, the path you walk won't be ordinary anymore. It will lead you straight into abundance, influence, and billionaire-level potential. You've felt it, haven't you? That strange shift, that sudden confidence, that inner voice whispering, "You're meant for more." That's not imagination. That's activation. Heaven has placed a spotlight on you because your season of hiding is ending, and your season of rising has begun. So before this video pulls you deeper into your destiny, do 3 things to align with God's energy. First, like this video. Second, comment, "Thank you, God, for awakening my gift." And finally, subscribe, because today you step into the identity God has prepared for you, and nothing can stop what's coming. You're feeling a sudden shift in your energy. Lately, something inside you has been changing, and even though you can't fully explain it, you can feel it. It's like a quiet transformation happening under the surface, almost as if your soul is rearranging itself for a new chapter. You may notice that situations that once stressed you out don't affect you the same way anymore. You feel calmer, more in control, more aware. It's not that your problems suddenly disappeared. It's that you are seeing life with a stronger, clearer mindset. This peaceful shift is one of the first signs that God is activating the gift inside you. You may find yourself thinking differently, reacting differently, or feeling pulled toward things that make you grow. The fear you once carried is slowly fading. The doubts that used to pull you backward don't have the same power over you. Even when nothing major has changed on the outside, you feel like you're standing on the edge of something big. It's like there's an inner whisper saying, "Your time is near. Stay ready." That whisper doesn't come from your imagination. It comes from alignment. It's spiritual confirmation that your potential is waking up. Many people overlook this shift because they expect God to speak through a miracle or a loud sign. But God often speaks first through your energy. The moment He decides to elevate you, the upgrade begins from within. Your thoughts get sharper, your heart gets lighter, your intuition gets louder, and your spirit gets stronger. Your inner world begins to transform long before your outer world catches up. This is God preparing you for the level you're about to step into. Sometimes this shift feels like sudden motivation. You may wake up one morning and feel inspired for no reason. You feel ready to change your life, start something new, or move forward with a dream you had been avoiding. You may also feel detached from things that no longer match your growth. Old patterns feel uncomfortable. Old distractions lose their charm. Your soul is releasing what cannot go with you into the next season. This is the spiritual cleaning phase, where God removes the weight you were never meant to carry. At times, the shift might feel confusing. You may ask yourself, "Why do I feel different? Why do things look the same, but feel new?" That confusion is normal. You're not lost. You're transitioning. The old you is fading, and the stronger, wiser version of you is emerging. God is preparing your mindset for blessings, opportunities, and responsibilities you never imagined before. This shift is the universe's way of telling you that your next chapter has already begun, even if you haven't seen the full picture yet. You're being positioned for elevation. You're being aligned with your purpose. Your energy is changing because your life is about to change. And once this inner transformation begins, nothing can stop what God has already prepared for you. Your old life no longer fits you. There comes a time in every chosen one's journey when the world around them starts feeling unfamiliar. The places that once felt comfortable suddenly feel small. The conversations you used to enjoy now feel empty. The people who were once your closest may now feel distant, or you may notice their energy no longer matches yours. This change can feel strange at first, but it's not a sign that something is wrong. It's a sign that you're outgrowing your old life. Your soul is quietly moving you towards something bigger. You may find yourself avoiding certain habits you once enjoyed, not because someone told you to, but because your spirit no longer connects with them. You don't feel the same excitement for gossip, meaningless arguments, time-wasting activities, or low-value distractions. You start craving growth, peace, clarity, and purpose. This shift is not accidental. When God prepares a chosen one for a higher calling or even a billionaire-level destiny, He begins by pulling you away from everything that limits your potential. Sometimes this separation feels painful. You might ask yourself, why am I drifting away from people I cared about? But the truth is, God sees what you cannot. He knows who will support your future and who will hold you back. He knows which environments feed your growth and which ones drain your spirit. When He removes people from your life, it is never to hurt you. It is to protect the version of you that He is building. You may also find that you no longer tolerate the things you once accepted. Mediocrity feels uncomfortable. Negative energy feels heavier than before. Small thinking irritates you. This is because your spirit is expanding. You're entering a mindset where you can see your future more clearly. You can sense that you were not created for an average life. You were meant to rise and rise high. To prepare you for this elevation, God is making sure you don't stay stuck in old patterns that keep you small. This phase is often misunderstood. People may say you've changed, and they're right. You are changing. Growth requires transformation. You cannot step into a new level with an old version of yourself. So if your surroundings feel too tight or too heavy, it's because you've outgrown them. Just like a plant needs a bigger pot to keep growing, you need a bigger life to hold your destiny. You might feel lonely during this transition, but loneliness here is not punishment. It's preparation. God isolates before He elevates. He separates you from noise so He can speak to you. He removes distractions so He can guide you. He clears out the old so the new can enter. And slowly, you start to realize that your discomfort is actually your breakthrough. It's your soul saying, you were made for more. The life you are stepping into is far bigger than the life you are leaving behind. And soon, those empty spaces will be filled with new opportunities, new blessings, and new relationships that match the person you are becoming. God is adding new ideas and visions to your mind. One of the clearest signs that God is activating your gift is when your mind starts receiving ideas you never thought about before. You may suddenly find yourself thinking of new business plans, new opportunities, new ways to earn, or new creative paths. Sometimes these ideas come when you're resting, sometimes while working, sometimes even in the middle of ordinary moments. But they come with a strange sense of excitement, as if something inside you is saying, this is meant for you. These ideas are not accidents. These are divine messages. God doesn't always speak with a loud voice. Many times, He speaks through inspiration. He places a thought in your mind that keeps returning again and again. Maybe it's a project you've been postponing. Maybe it's a dream you abandoned years ago. Maybe it's a talent you ignored because life got busy. But now, that dream is waking up with more force. That's not coincidence. That's your destiny tapping you on the shoulder, telling you that your time has come. You may also notice that your thinking is expanding. You're no longer dreaming small. You're starting to imagine a future where you can build something big, something long-lasting, something that can change your life and even help others. This shift in mindset is spiritual. Before God changes your circumstances, He changes your thinking. Why? Because you can't live a big life with a small mindset. Every billionaire, every successful person, every world changer started with one powerful idea planted in the mind. And for you, that seed is now being planted by God Himself. Sometimes these new ideas might scare you. You may wonder, can I really do this? Is this too big for me? But remember, God will never place a vision inside you that you are not capable of handling. If the idea feels bigger than you, that's how you know it's divine. God doesn't give chosen ones normal dreams. He gives them dreams that stretch them, grow them, challenge them, and prepare them for greatness. You may also notice your old interests fading away. Things you once loved no longer excite you. Instead, your attention is shifting toward things that bring growth, learning, building, investing, creating. This shift is a sign that you're aligning with your purpose. Your mind is entering a zone where success becomes possible because you are focusing on the right things. Another thing you'll feel is sudden clarity. Answers to long-standing questions may come out of nowhere. Solutions to problems appear easily. You start seeing the path ahead more clearly than before. This clarity means God is removing mental fog and making your vision sharp. He wants you to see the future He's preparing for you. Most importantly, when God gives you an idea, He also provides the strength, the resources, and the opportunities at the right time. Your job is only to recognize the idea and take the first step. The dream that keeps returning to your heart is not random. It is your assignment. It is heaven whispering, "Start now." This is the gift I placed inside you. You are not imagining this shift. Your mind is opening because your destiny is opening. And the ideas coming to you are the first signs of the abundance you're about to walk into. Your battles have been preparing you for greatness. When you look back at your life, you'll realize that nothing you went through was pointless. Every challenge, every heartbreak, every disappointment, and every tough moment was shaping you into someone stronger than you ever imagined. Many times, you may have asked, "Why me? Why is my life so difficult compared to others?" But the truth is, chosen ones are not built in comfort. They are built in the fire. Greatness is never handed to anyone. It is formed through struggle. And without even realizing it, every battle you faced has been preparing you for the huge blessings ahead. You might think you were fighting alone, but God was silently training you. When you faced betrayal, He taught you discernment. When you experienced rejection, He taught you resilience. When you went through isolation, He taught you independence and clarity. When everything fell apart, He taught you how to rebuild. None of these lessons were easy, but they were necessary. Without them, you would not have the strength to handle the opportunities that are coming your way. Imagine someone being handed a massive responsibility without preparation. They would collapse under the weight. God didn't want that for you, so He allowed certain hardships not to break you, but to strengthen your foundation. He needed you to be someone who can handle pressure, make wise decisions, manage abundance, and stay grounded even when success arrives. Billionaire potential is not just about money. It is about emotional strength. mental clarity, spiritual maturity, and unshakable confidence. And those qualities can only be built through real-life challenges. Think about the times you had to stand up for yourself, the moments you had nothing but still kept moving forward, the days when you cried but didn't give up. These were not weaknesses, they were victories. These battles were shaping your character into one that cannot be easily broken. You learned patience. You learned self-control. You learned how to trust your intuition. You learned how to survive storms that would have destroyed others. That is proof that you are chosen. You might also notice that the very things you once thought were setbacks are now your strengths. The pain that once hurt you is now your wisdom. The loneliness that once scared you is now your protection. The failure that once embarrassed you is now your biggest teacher. God was preparing you behind the scenes, and you didn't even know it. Every great destiny requires preparation. And because your destiny is bigger than you realize, your preparation had to be intense. God wasn't delaying your blessings. He was preparing you to hold them. He was building the mindset of someone who can think big, carry responsibilities, stay disciplined, and stay focused. This is how a billionaire mindset is formed, not through comfort, but through courage. You survived what others couldn't because you were meant for what others may never reach. The strength you gained from your battles is your secret power. And now, God is ready to elevate you. The training is over. The rising begins now. You're gaining an unshakable confidence. There comes a moment in a chosen one's journey when everything within starts shifting quietly but powerfully. You may suddenly notice that the doubts you once carried are no longer controlling you. The fear that used to freeze you now feels distant, almost irrelevant. You begin trusting your intuition more. You start believing in your abilities, even when you don't have everything figured out. This change is not random. It is spiritual activation. When God decides it's time for you to rise, He doesn't begin by changing your situation. He begins by changing your confidence. Confidence is not arrogance. Confidence is clarity. It is that deep inner knowing that says, I can do this. I'm capable. I'm chosen. And when this type of confidence awakens inside you, it changes the way you think, speak, walk, and show up in your own life. You no longer feel the need to prove yourself to anyone. You no longer shrink yourself to make others comfortable. You no longer ask for permission to dream big. Instead, you take ownership of your life, your purpose, and your path. This newfound confidence comes from God removing fear, layer by layer. For years, fear controlled your decisions. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of disappointment, fear of not being good enough. But now, that weight is lifting. You may not even know when it happened, but you started standing taller. You started saying yes to opportunities instead of backing away. You started making choices based on faith instead of fear. This is the moment God has been preparing you for. You may notice that you're expressing yourself more clearly. You're not overthinking everything the way you used to. Your mind feels lighter, more focused, more determined. That's because clarity is entering your spirit. God doesn't want you walking around confused. He wants you to walk with direction. And when clarity comes, success becomes possible. You start seeing opportunities that you once overlooked. You start understanding your purpose. You start recognizing your talent as something valuable, not something to hide. People around you might begin noticing this change too. They may say, you seem different, more confident, more bold, more sure of yourself. And it's true. You are different. You've outgrown your old insecurities. You've outgrown the small version of yourself that fear created. You are stepping into the real you, the version God always intended. This level of confidence doesn't come from achievements. It comes from alignment. It comes from realizing that you don't walk alone. It comes from knowing that if God is guiding you, nothing can stop you. You feel supported by something bigger than you. Your soul feels protected. Your journey feels purposeful. This is why your confidence is becoming unshakable. The more this confidence grows, the more opportunities start moving toward you. Confidence opens doors that talent alone cannot. It allows you to take action, to show up, to speak up, to move forward with courage. And once this inner power wakes up, you begin stepping into rooms and situations you once thought were impossible for you. This is not just a personality change. This is destiny unfolding. Your confidence is your sign that your gift is awakening. And once a chosen one becomes confident, nothing in this world can stop their rise. People around you start acting differently. One of the most surprising signs that you are rising spiritually is when the people around you begin to change before you do. You may notice that friends who were once close suddenly pull away, or they act distant, jealous, or uneasy around you. People may start giving you strange looks, or they may become quieter, less supportive, or even negative for no clear reason. This can feel confusing at first, but it's not because you did something wrong. It's because your energy is changing, and they can feel it, even if you can't yet. When God begins elevating a chosen one, the spiritual shift happens before the physical one. Your mindset grows, your spirit strengthens, your purpose becomes clearer, and your vibration rises. And the truth is, not everyone can handle that change. Some people are comfortable with you as your old self, quiet, unsure, or struggling. But when your spirit starts to rise, it makes them uncomfortable because your growth silently reveals their stagnation. Your light exposes the places where they haven't grown, and instead of being inspired, some people become intimidated. Jealousy doesn't always show up loudly. Sometimes it looks like short replies, silent tension, sudden distance, or unnecessary criticism. Sometimes people who used to cheer for you stop clapping. Sometimes they start competing with you or minimizing your progress. This is not because you've changed for the worse. It's because you are stepping into your power and your energy no longer matches theirs. You are shifting to a higher level, and not everyone wants to rise with you. It's important to understand that this shift is not meant to hurt you. It's meant to protect you. God sees things you cannot see. He knows who truly supports you and who secretly envies you. He knows who will uplift you and who will drain you. So when He starts elevating you, He will also start separating you. He will distance you from people who cannot celebrate your growth, people who cannot handle your light, people who would become obstacles in your next chapter. Some of these separations may feel painful. You may wonder why certain friendships fell apart or why some relationships faded. But remember, God is not removing people to punish you. He is clearing your path so your destiny can unfold without interference. He is making sure you don't step into your future surrounded by people who don't deserve access to it. Your circle becomes smaller because your purpose becomes greater. As your energy rises, your spirit naturally attracts what is aligned with your future and repels what isn't. People who genuinely love you will grow with you. Those who are meant for your journey will stay, and those who disappear were never meant to walk into the next season of your life. Blessings start moving toward you without effort. One of the clearest signs that you've stepped into your gift is when things in your life begin shifting without you having to push or struggle for them. You may suddenly receive a message from someone offering help. An unexpected opportunity may appear, or a door you thought was permanently shut may open as if it was waiting just for this moment. These changes don't come from luck. They come from alignment. This is what divine overflow looks like. It's when God starts arranging the right people, the right situations, and the right timing around your life to guide you exactly where you're meant to be. For a long time, you may have felt stuck. No matter how hard you tried, things didn't move. Everything felt slow, blocked, or delayed. But now, out of nowhere, the flow begins. Ideas start coming to you more naturally. People who once ignored you suddenly notice your value. Opportunities that you prayed for months ago start showing up quietly and effortlessly. This is not a coincidence. This is God's timing. When He decides it's your moment, everything accelerates. The most beautiful part is that you don't feel the need to fight or beg for anything anymore. You are no longer chasing blessings. They are chasing you. You begin to understand that what is meant for you cannot miss you. God starts sending signs, synchronicities, and little confirmations that things are aligning in your favor. You may meet someone randomly who becomes important in your journey. You may be guided to a new idea that changes everything. Even small things begin falling perfectly into place, as if the universe is quietly saying, "Keep going. You're on the right path." You might also notice that situations that once felt difficult suddenly become easy. Tasks you used to overthink now feel simple. The stress you carried around your dreams begins to dissolve. That's because when you step into your purpose, God removes unnecessary resistance. He opens doors that no human can close. He clears the path so you can walk confidently toward the destiny He prepared for you. And here's the powerful truth. Divine overflow is not only about opportunities, it's about transformation. God aligns your inner world first. He gives you peace, clarity, and confidence. He gives you courage to take action. Once your inner world is aligned, your outer world automatically begins to shift. Blessings appear because you are now ready to receive them. You're not operating from fear anymore. You're operating from faith. You'll also notice that your life starts becoming more synchronized. Everything seems to happen at the right time. You start meeting the right people at the right moment. You feel guided. You feel supported. You feel protected. This is God showing you that you're not walking alone. He is walking with you, opening each door before you reach it. The key now is simple. Stay ready. When blessings start moving towards you effortlessly, it's a sign that your season has arrived. Don't doubt it, don't question it, and don't minimize it. You prayed for this. You prepared for this. Now it's time to receive what God has already placed in motion for you. Your mindset is switching from survival to abundance. There comes a moment in a chosen one's journey when the way you think begins to shift without you even trying. You start noticing that your thoughts are no longer focused on just surviving, paying bills, or getting through the day. Instead, you begin imagining a bigger, better, more abundant life. You start dreaming of things you once thought were out of your reach. You begin thinking about building a future, creating something meaningful, and living in a way that reflects your true potential. This change in mindset is not random, it is spiritual. It is God expanding your capacity to receive more. For years, you may have lived in a survival mindset, always worried about money, time, opportunities, or stability. You may have felt stuck in small thinking because life forced you to focus on basic needs. But now, something is shifting. You want more than just getting by. You feel drawn to a life where you can breathe freely, where you can grow, where you can contribute, and where you can enjoy the fruits of your hard work. This desire is not greed, it is alignment with God's plan. God does not give chosen ones small visions. He doesn't place tiny dreams inside people who carry huge purpose. When He knows you are ready for the next level, He expands your thoughts first. He removes the limitations you once placed on yourself. Suddenly, you begin to see possibilities where you once saw problems. You start believing that you deserve good things. Your perspective shifts from, "I hope it works out," to, "I know something great is coming." This expanding mindset often shows up in small, simple ways. You may catch yourself planning for the future instead of worrying about it. You may start thinking about investing instead of only spending. You may feel inspired to start a business, pursue new skills, or take steps that improve your life. You may also find yourself wanting to help your family, uplift others, or create something that lasts. This shift shows that your mindset is moving from scarcity to abundance. Another powerful sign is that you no longer feel guilty for wanting more. Society often teaches people that dreaming big is wrong or selfish, but deep inside, you know your desire for abundance comes from a pure place. You want to grow so you can give more. You want to succeed so you can help more. You want to rise so you can change lives. That is not selfishness. That is purpose. As your mindset expands, fear starts shrinking. You no longer doubt your abilities. You no longer question whether you are worthy of abundance. You begin to walk with a quiet confidence, knowing that God has big plans for you. You realize that wealth is not just money, it's freedom, opportunities, peace, and the ability to make a real difference. This is where billionaire potential begins, not in your bank account, but in your thinking. When your mind opens to abundance, your life begins to attract abundance. When your thoughts rise higher, your opportunities rise with them. God is preparing you to receive more, build more, and become more. And once your mindset expands, you will never go back to the limited version of yourself that lived only to survive. You are stepping into a life designed for overflow. God is preparing you for a destiny that impacts millions. There is a special kind of feeling that chosen ones experience, a quiet but powerful knowing that their life is not meant to be ordinary. You may not have the full picture yet, but deep inside, you can sense that you were created for something far bigger than the life you've lived so far. This inner pull toward greatness is not imagination. It is your soul remembering its purpose. It is God whispering to you that your story will not end in the place where you started. You may have felt this calling since childhood, or maybe it awakened recently. You might not know how you will reach that bigger life, but you can feel that you are on a path that leads to influence, abundance, and impact. This calling is not about ego, it's about purpose. God is preparing you to become someone who can touch the lives of many people without even realizing it. He is molding you into a leader, a healer, a guide, or an inspiration for people who will one day look at your journey and say, "Because they rose, I can rise too." This feeling of purpose is often accompanied by a sense of responsibility. You may feel like you can't live an average life. You can't settle. You can't stay small. Your spirit simply won't allow it. That's because God placed a gift inside you that was never meant to sit quietly. Whether it's wisdom, creativity, compassion, intelligence, resilience, or leadership, your gift was designed to impact others. It was designed to lift people, to bring hope, to create opportunities, or to inspire change. And here's the truth. Billionaire potential isn't just about money. Money is only one part of the picture. True billionaire potential is about the size of your purpose. It's about the magnitude of the calling on your life. It's about the number of people your journey will influence. God is preparing you not just to succeed, but to carry a greatness that blesses others. Your experiences, your pain, your lessons, they all become tools that will one day help someone else. Nothing you've been through is wasted. God is shaping you in ways you don't fully understand yet. He is strengthening your character, sharpening your intuition, expanding your mindset, and growing your heart so that when the time comes, you can handle the influence and blessings that come with your destiny. Because when God raises someone to a high level, He makes sure they have the wisdom and integrity to carry it. You are not rising for yourself alone. You are rising for your family, who will experience a new life because of your growth. You are rising for strangers, who will one day find healing through your words, your success, or your example. You are rising for the next generation, so they never have to struggle the way you did. You are rising for the millions of people who will be touched, not by what you have, but by who you become. This is why your journey feels different. This is why your spirit feels heavy with purpose. God is preparing you for a destiny that reaches far beyond your own life. And when the time comes, the impact you make will stretch further than you ever imagined.